Hey, all right, we're here for the Wisdom Lunch. I'm Pastor Jim from Bay West Church, and I'm like I said, the pastor of Bay West Church. And what I do here is I take the chapter of Proverbs that corresponds with the month, the day of the month, and today is the second. So we're going to take a look at Proverbs chapter 2. And what I do with this is off the cuff. I'm doing no study ahead of time. This isn't any big prep or anything like that. I'm just I'm just here. I'm going to show you how easy it is to read God's word. Full disclosure, I do have a seminary degree, but you don't need a seminary degree to read God's word and get value from it. And that's the whole point of this exercise. No prep, just jump in, read, and see what God has. So we're going to jump into chapter 2 of Proverbs. The benefits of wisdom. My child, listen to what I say and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to wisdom, which, as we know, we define wisdom as what to do, what to think, what's the proper response. That's wisdom. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding the why. Cry out for insight and ask for understanding. These are valuable things you'll see in Proverbs, especially, or throughout the Bible, but especially in Proverbs. Insight and understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. And what they're talking about is valuable things. These are very, very valuable. And if there's something you shouldn't be trying to get rich quick schemes and all that type of stuff just to seek all the money you can get necessarily. I mean, you need to seek for the appropriate response. You need to seek for insight, for wisdom, for understanding of those things. And then you know how to respond in any situation where you have a lot or have a little. That's what wisdom does. It gives you the ability to respond in a good way. Then when you see those things, then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord. Did you ever think about that? I mean, if I seek wisdom and understanding, then I'll understand what it actually means to fear the Lord. A lot of people throw that word around, and there's a lot of different connotations for fear. But it says, then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord. In other words, what that really means, it's not like you're being afraid and deathly afraid of God, but you're just to put him first in the first priority in everything. That's what it means there, this healthy respect that puts him in the number one priority. Then you will gain knowledge. For knowledge of God, you'll start to understand who he is. For the Lord grants wisdom. That's where wisdom comes from. If you want to know how to act appropriately in a situation, that comes from God. And anybody who may not, seems like they don't get it from God, they're just mimicking what they've seen already from God from some other place. But they don't, that it always comes back to him. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. So many times I think in this world we get so focused in that, that it seems to be sometimes it's dangerous in our world, and there's people that don't walk with integrity, and we have to walk without integrity so that we can be safe. Well, the shield from God comes when you walk with integrity. And, we talked about that yesterday. It's not that you're without harm or without tough things. The truth is we are going to have trouble in this world, but with God, we don't have to be encumbered, like it said yesterday, from the fear of harm. I don't have to be afraid of it because God's going to carry me through it. So he guards the path of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. That's another reason to be faithful to God, because you have his protection with you. And like I said again, that's not to be completely free of all trouble or anything like that, but to know that no matter what happens, God is going to lead you through that, make you better through it, and help you, especially long term and throughout eternity. It says, then after you see that, here's another promise: you will understand what is right and just and fair, and you will find the right way to go. That is an amazing thing, to be able to know the right way to go. I mean, I've heard people talking about finding to know the right way in every situation. That's what wisdom actually is. What is right at this point? What is just? What would be fair to everyone? That's a hard thing in a complex world that we live in. That's a hard thing to know, but it's a great promise from God about wisdom. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will watch over you. They will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. Good stuff. Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. And see, here's something that you don't think about. Well, I'm just read this little and we'll go back to it. It says, from these men turn from the right way to walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong. They enjoy the twisted ways of evil. Their actions are crooked and their ways are wrong. And you don't think about, a lot of times you think about wisdom is what's appropriate at the time. How should I respond? What should I think? What should I do? What's my decision in those situations? We think that's wisdom. But wisdom is different. It also comes on the other side. It can protect you, save you from evil people. Because when you know the right way to do things, you can notice the wrong way in other people's lives. And you say, okay, wait a minute. I don't know if that's right. There's so many scams in this world, and people just go along with them often because they just don't know anything better. Well, it seemed like he knew what he was talking about. He's so friendly. She was so nice. She said this, and they just go. But wisdom, when you trust in the wisdom of the Lord, it will save you from evil people. Now, does that mean that no one will ever take advantage of you? No one will ever rob you? No, but you'll be saved. Not necessarily, because we see people get robbed in the Bible. And that's not necessarily, there's sometimes when they didn't listen to the Lord, it got them to a bad place. There's sometimes it just happens because sin is complex and it's in our world. But being saved from evil people means that you endure beyond that. And there's more to that than just the momentary interaction. But what it says, when it says wisdom will save from evil people, from those whose words are twisted, when they talk that way, you're going to find it. You're going to see it. You may see something in their character. Maybe they're in business and they seem like they know what they're doing and they have some good results, but you notice in their character, they lie a lot. They don't tell the truth, or they talk behind people's backs, and you go, okay, wait a minute. That's not the way to do things. I need to watch out for that and not put all my eggs in their basket, so to speak, because they turn from the right way. They don't do the right things. They walk down dark paths, not paths of light. They take pleasure in doing what's wrong, and they enjoy the twisted ways of evil. And that's not good. Their actions are crooked. The ways are wrong. There's a warning for that. Verse 16 says, wisdom will save you from the immoral woman, from the seductive words of the promiscuous woman. She has abandoned her husband and ignores the covenant she made before God. Entering her house leads to death. It is the road to the grave. The man who visits her is doomed. He will never reach the paths of life. And that's talking about from a man's perspective about a woman who is immoral, but we were just talking about evil people above. That goes both ways. That could be, a man who is, immoral and promiscuous and doesn't respect marriage and the covenant made there before God. That's one of the ways you can tell. I don't need to be around that. I don't need to be a part of that. That's not what I need to be doing. It's not who I need to be listening to or looking to for advice or how to do things. I'll just be straight. I mean, you hear Andrew Tate bandied about all the time, especially with younger people and stuff. Oh, look at Andrew Tate. Well, he's got everything. He didn't have everything. He's going to be a sad sack for eternity if he doesn't change some things around. And he's going to rue the day. And if he does, he's going to feel like a complete fool for all the things he's said up to this point. He's missing the point of life. He's banking on things to make him happy that really won't and really don't. And he never runs out of an appetite. Why? Because nothing ever fills him up. He's never fulfilled. That's what it is. It just runs out. And that's kind of the way of the world. So, but what God is saying is, look, when you seek me and you put me first, I show you wisdom about how to live in life, about things that don't run out, wells that don't run dry. Remember, Jesus talked about that in the New Testament. So so down to verse 20. So follow the steps of the good and stay on the paths of the righteous. For only the godly will live in the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. And I think live is a big deal there. I mean, I haven't gone back. I can't go back and look at the Hebrew right now, but I would wonder if that has a larger connotation. I would check that out. Not just to exist, but to live, to thrive in the land. But the wicked, they will be removed from the land, and the treacherous will be uprooted. In other words, they're not going to last. They don't have a solid foundation. It's not going to go well in the end. So anyway, there's your wisdom lunch. I mean, there's some good things to take into as far as direction and learning. I'm sure you saw a bunch of stuff that I didn't even talk about. So good for you. Way to go. So that's our wisdom lunch, and I am out for today. We'll catch you later.